All right, so here's an interesting pouring method. So what they're doing is they're taking the concrete from the truck. We have a 2000 psi blend here, which is kind of odd, but with a water reducer. So they pour it into this bucket, and the excavator takes the bucket, so looks like we're pouring some footings for something. Not really sure what's going on here, but this is what we've got going on. So what this driver's doing over here is he is pouring concrete into a bucket. We have a 2000 psi blend with water reducer. Not sure why they're using such low PSI concrete here, but loads it up into the bucket, and there you go. Fills up the bucket. Excavator picks it up. Takes it over to the footing. The laborer comes over, opens the bucket, empties the bucket into the footing. We have one of the other laborers there getting a measurement of the height of the footing itself. And then what this guy over here has is a vibrator. And so what that does is it works out the air bubbles.
What are you doing? Are you waiting?
Yeah, we're going to be loading up into the bucket there.
Okay, I'm parked back there.
You are?
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. All right, it is my turn. So, oh, check that out. Get that low range on so that way we can crawl over these rocks. All right. All right, so we're gonna get lined up with this bucket, and we're gonna be unloading into the bucket. All right, so got the drum on discharge. We got to get this thing on a 7 slump. What are we on right now? All right, looks like we're, oh shit, we're on 4. Okay, so let's get this thing juiced up a bit. Now, gotta run the water here. This is my water. Get the pump on, run the water. We have to get that gauge down to about 800, and right now it's on 1500. So we gotta juice this thing up pretty good. I put a bunch of water in this thing at the plant, so I'm kind of surprised that it's still that dry. But all right, we'll fix this thing up a bit, and we'll keep working on it. All right. I'll pour it out. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't think you were the cool kid doing that. All right. All right. Time to do a little off-roading. We're all unloaded, ready to go. Get our hopper lowered for a minute. Let's go climb the hill. So right now we've got the transfer case in low range because this hill's pretty, it's kind of steep. There we go. Yeah! Oh, all right. Get our 6-wheel on because it's just a little too steep, didn't want to climb it. All right, here we go. Cool, so now we're gonna unload. So what we do is get in here. Looks like they cut us out a nice little pit. All right. Get our hopper back up. All right, let's go get this thing cleaned out. So, cleaning out a concrete truck. So you can see, always got a little leftovers. Get in here. Got to spray out all the junk. Get all the leftovers out of here. Because if you don't, well, one of the things that concrete does is it gets solid. And it'll get solid in my truck just as much as it'll get solid on the ground, on the sidewalk, basement of the house, foundation, whatever. So we got to get it out of here. Got to clean all the fins up. All the fins, or else they'll get all caked on, and when it gets caked on, I can't carry as much. Makes it harder to clean out, makes it harder to pour, makes it harder to do everything. So you gotta get in here, gotta get it all clean. Oh, and by the way, this is what the inside of a concrete mixer looks like. All the fins, you got the big fin that spirals down to the base of the drum. You got the little fins here that help kind of break up the flow when it's coming out, so it's easier to get dispensed. And it draws it all the way up from the bottom of the drum, brings it out into the chute, which then comes out and pours on whatever it is that I'm pouring on. So for any of you guys that were ever curious, there it is. This guy here sprays water into the drum when I need it to, which is all the time, because concrete has different strengths and different liquidities. So when it's harder, it's stronger, but it's also harder to work. So I got to loosen it up a bit. All right, so there you go. All cleaned up, ready to go. Time to go to the next job. All right, so let's fold the chutes and let's get out of this job site. All right, disengage the 6-wheel drive. Transfer case is out of low range. Now, okay, let's get out of here. It's kind of a neat job site. I don't know what they're building here, but it's kind of cool. way to get down to where everybody else was. No dust control here, looks like. Yeah, whatever this is, it's going to be a pretty big facility. So that's the job site. At least where we work, this whole area is a job site, but dang, look at the wheels on that thing. Get out of here. I got this. I saw this on the way out, or the way in, I guess. Huge line of buses. Not really sure what's going on here. I thought this was for the construction workers, but these are school district buses. So maybe this is going to be a garage or a parking place or something. Oh, shit. Bunch of Thomas-built buses. Guess Nashville likes Thomas buses. All right, there's the entrance. Cool. Here we go, the highway. Time to get out of here. All right, so this job site is kind of interesting. We actually get to do Shotcrete today. Shotcrete. So what's going on here is they're getting a development obviously put in here, but what they're doing is they're spraying concrete along the wall. And how they do that is I put this really sticky, dry concrete into the pump, and then they shoot it through a nozzle against the wall. And we'll show you guys how that works here in just a minute. Let's just, looks like they're pulling out. Oh, shoot. Yeah, look at that. We're gonna be doing some tricky maneuvers. Look at this guy. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna need to do 6-wheel drive to get back and out of that. Right on. All right. So let's get in position and get ready. All right, here we go. I have the transfer case in low range to climb up all this, because I currently have a 6-yard load, which is very heavy. I guess my 4x wasn't quite engaged. All right, so got to make this sharp turn. Yeah, see, look over there, they've got load already, the walls shotcreted and ready to go. All right, so make this sharp U-turn. Six-wheel drive to get up this thing, man. All right, so right on. Yep. So that's what the wall looks like. So they blast it off, then they take and they spray the concrete into this grid to reinforce the wall to prevent the rocks from falling into the house. All right, so you see how they're spraying it. Well, here, let me watch this stuff come out of my chute. So this stuff is really, really thick because it has to be really tacky and dry to have it stick to the wall. So it just kind of poops out real slow. But you see how they spray it against the wall? That's because you can see how they they got the mesh against the wall here. And then they just kind of blast the concrete into it, and that's how it sticks. Shotcrete's really cool stuff. But yeah, you can kind of see it. There's no way that they'd get a normally into a wall like this. Pretty cool stuff. All right, so we're at a job now which has very interesting stuff. Where apparently I'm pouring what's called flowable fill, which is cement and sand. And what we're doing, we're filling in what I believe is a natural gas pipeline before they put asphalt on the road. And so that's kind of what it looks like. Is it's just cement and sand. And they put this underneath caps on the road. In fact, I just got to watch an excavator put the big steel plates down, and you can kind of see the outline of go wash out.